everybody, it's Ruth the Traveling Quilter, and it is Wednesday, so it must be time for Wednesday's Quickie if I'm here and you're here. So let's do a quick project again. So today I'm going to do another Sew Sweetness from Sarah Lawson pattern. This is the Faithwell storage bin. So I've made one. There we go. This is the medium size. See this? Medium size. It comes in 3 different sizes. You just print this pattern off from her website, that's sewsweetness.com. So it comes with the instructions, and then there's 4 pages of pattern that you tape it all together and then cut out your pieces. So you've got a small, a medium, and a large. And all you need is an outer fabric, an inner fabric. You need some foam and some Peltex. And that's all you need. And then there's also this piece, but that's not a pattern piece. That's just a marking guide. But I've already prepped all of this. So we're going to do this real quick because it is a quickie, okay? So let me move this bag over to the side here. So I have already prepped. So you just follow the pattern, whatever size piece it says. So this is going to be my lining fabric for this one. And I've just put a little iron-on interfacing on here. And then you iron down 1/4 inch all the way down the long side on the top. And then this will be my outer fabric. And then you put your foam on it and clip it 1/4 inch all the way down. And she suggests clipping it for an hour, so I've had this clipped for a day or 2 because I'm having it ready. I don't know if you could see that great fabric I had, but let me see. There they are. Skeleton mermaids. That's what I'm going for. I'm on a theme here. So I have skulls. I have skeleton mermaids. I'll bring that back here in a minute. And then my old little trash bin, I've got my little vampire girls. So I'm on a roll there. So let's get this started real quick so we can get done. I'm going to just set those to the side. So after you've ironed down the top of your 1/4 inch top of your lining fabric, you're going to fold that together, find the middle of that piece, and I just make a little finger crease here. There's my middle. And then this is just a little marking tool for the handle. So let's get this one back out here. So this has a handle here, so you can carry it around, so you can hang it on a wall on a nail. Whatever you want to do with your hole here. So I'm going to take this over here so I can get this all marked up here. And once you found your middle, just lay your little guide on here. You got to fold your 1/4 inch up for a minute. And that is really a sewing line in the middle. So we're going to just draw the circle. Now Sarah's got a whole tutorial on this because it is her pattern after all. I'm just liking making them. Draw your circle and then lay it, turn your 1/4 inch back down, lay that right sides together with your top piece. And I got my handy dandy wonder clips here. Let me get these. And we'll clip these 2 pieces together. So everybody had a good week, I'm hoping. Just got off work this morning myself, and we're doing this quickie so I can get to bed so I can go back to work again tonight. I know you think that's all I ever say I'm doing, but that's what I'm doing. I've only got a few weeks left here, and then we're going to be moving on somewhere. Don't know where yet, but moving on. Let me move some of this over here. If you can see that little circle I've drawn, so that is a sewing line. Just trying to get my pieces lined up. There we go. So I've got my machine set to like a 3 right now. And I'm just going to sew right around that circle. Biggest thing's maneuvering this in between the wonder clips. There we go. Just sew around here. When you get to your curves, stop and maybe decrease your stitch length a little bit. I'm going down to like a 1.8 just so I can make sure and get a really tight curve on there. You got to kind of roll it up a little bit. So I'm getting lots of subscribers. Tell your friends. I think I'm going to have another giveaway when I get to 800. So I need about 40 plus, less than 50, more than 40. So tell your friends and all to subscribe and come and watch and like and tell me what you do like. I still plan to get back onto those sewing and live, but it just hasn't worked out yet to get some of those things done, to get some more quilting videos done. When we move on, we'll get some shop tours done around the country. Hopefully there will be some shops where I'm going. Almost done with that circle. There we go. So that didn't take long. Get that out of there. Then we're going to take and we're just going to fold that over and we're going to make a little snip here. And then we're going to cut that out about a 1/4 inch away from the sewing line. And let's see, almost got it. And once we get it all cut, we're also going to, do some little snips, which we do on inner curves and everything when we're sewing. There we go. So little clips, clip, clip, clip. Just so it lays nicer. A few more. Alrighty. So then all I need to do now is unclip my ends where I've had it so it laid together, and we're going to take this lining fabric and we're going to stick it through the hole here. Is there a theme on my projects here of having to birth bags and burp bags and turn things wrong side out? There we go. Get it all turned around there. And just use your fingers and get that smoothed out real good. And then we're going to top stitch around here once I get it all smoothed out. So let me smooth this out and then I will get right back with you, okay? All right, I got this all mashed down pretty flat here. Put a little clip to hold it in place, and I'm just going to top stitch an 1/8 of an inch from the edge. And again, I'm going to set my length to 3 for that. There we go. And just kind of smooth it as you go. Yeah, I saw this fabric, where was I? I was in North Carolina at a shop, I believe, and walked past it and went back to it and said, I don't need it, and went back and got it. But as in my next life, I might be a mermaid, so you never know, I might need this. I don't know about a skeleton mermaid, but The biggest thing with this is getting all this foam flipped around and out of the way when you're trying to get around these curves. Narrow your seam again when you get to the curve. Wonder clips are wonderful, but they are wonderful at wanting to hang on the edge of my table. So I don't know if anybody else has that issue. Let me get my lead thread out of the way because I don't want it to be on my bag. These scissors. There we go, back stitch that. So that's all done. That didn't take long, did it? The longest time for this bag is the prep work. Putting it together doesn't take that long at all. Now, we're gonna temporarily unclip your first clip and unfold that 1/4 inch. And put your right sides of your main fabric together and clip it back down. And then we're going to sew the outer edge out of 1/4 inch after we get it all put back together there. Yeah, so 1/4 inch for this. You can put more clips if you want. This is how many clips I'm putting. One at the top. There we go. Then we're going to turn that back down. On our sewing edge, it's going back down right there, so we're still at 1/4 inch around. Then turn it over and get your lining fabric. Right sides together. Flip up that 1/4 inch where you bent it down already. And this we're going to sew at 1/4 inch, but we're going to veer into 1/2 inch towards the bottom or towards the middle, and then back out to 1/4 inch when you get towards the bottom. And that's just going to make it so your basket fits tighter together. So let me get everything lined up here. And then all we got to do is do some markings and put our bottom in and top stitch our top, and we'll be done. So I'm just kind of veering over, and I'm using the marking there on my throat plate just to get to my 1/2 inch. Right there. Now these So Sweetness bags are real easy to make. They look complicated, but she's got some great videos on how to get all her stuff done. So we went in by 1/2 inch right here. I know you can't see that, but started at 1/4, 1 1/2, but then I'm going to kind of trim that bulk down just a little bit right in that 1/2 inch area. Just don't cut your seam. There we go. And then we're going to do a little bit of marking is all we got to do. So let's turn our 1/4 inch back down on that all the way around. Then we're going to take our seam and we're going to find the middle area of our bag here, which has a mark. And I have a pin somewhere in here. I shoved it to the side. Let me see, there it came. Okay. So I'm trying to find the middle and the middle here. So right here, we want to mark. Mash it down. And I'm just going to mark. It doesn't matter what kind of marking tool you use. It's all going to be on the inside. And then I'm going to mark right there on each side where it's halved and halved again. And then on my pretty side, I need to do the same thing. Just mark where it's half and half again. And I'm just marking on the foam here. All right. So let's put our bottom on, our lining bottom. So this is just on a piece of Peltex, but look, it looks like I have two pieces because when I was talking and doing this, I put the lining fabric and sewed it to my back fabric on my foam where it did not belong. Started to rip it out. I have enough fabric. I'm not ripping that out. It's just going to be sandwiched in the middle and we're never going to know it was there. It'll just be our secret that I've got an extra piece of fabric in there. So on the back of my little Peltex here, I've marked at the half and on the half on each side. And she's got markings on her pattern pieces where that goes. So we're just going to line this up. More Wonder Clips. And let me get this all clipped up and then I'll get back here because there's a lot of clips. Okay, so I've got the bottom here all clipped up to the lining. That's the lining. And I'm going to sew with the bottom down. It's the firmer piece. And we're going to stick it right under our foot here. And this we're actually going to sew at a 1/2 inch on the lining piece. 1/2 inch, okay? Just got my regular stitch length here. And it's kind of bulky and baggy, but you just work it around and it will fit. It'll work right in there. And this way it makes for a tighter lining in your bag. And after we get this done, then we're going to trim it. We're going to trim it down to more like of a 1/4 inch. But this just makes so everything fits together nicely. It's more of a juggling act doing this, so maybe it should be a circus here instead, right? So you could use this for a trash can, you can use it in a baby room, you can use it in your kitchen, you could put a potted plant in it. What's everybody going to use theirs for when you try this? All kinds of storage things. Legos, make one with little cars on it for your little boys, because you know little boys, they don't seem to get as much, I don't think, as the little girls get of all the little handmade things. Put a little car one, they can put all their little Matchbox, Hot Wheels, whatever kind of cars you have nowadays. If they even play, do they even play much with Matchbox anymore, or is it all video games? Oop. Flip that around so I can keep this all straight. Almost there. I know this looks a little wrinkly, but it's not wrinkly on the seam. It's wrinkly on the edges. And you know what? It's lining in a bag, in a trash can bag. Almost got it. Hard to believe it's almost there. We didn't time us on this video today, did we? Okay, that's done. Let me take that out here, find my bigger scissors, and now I'm just going to trim this down to about 1/4 inch away. Just enough to get rid of some of that bulk in there. Just make sure your fabric's out of the way and you're not cutting into it, or then you'll be sorry. It'll be a do-over. See, just that little bit of waste. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's not much. All right, so I trimmed that bottom lining down to 1/4 inch, and I didn't make you watch me do that because everybody can trim from 1/2 inch down to 1/4 inch, and it doesn't have to be exact. Just trim that bulk out of there. And then I've gone ahead and clipped my outer bottom to my outer fabric with the foam. And then we're just going to sew this, and we're sewing that outer fabric at 1/4 inch. The lining was at 1/2 inch. The outer is at 1/4 inch. And that was just so everything fits together nicely. So let me get this underneath, and I want this facing this way so my bottom is against the machine and my edge is on top, which is another manipulation here, but it'll work. Just get it right under there. And make sure you're catching all your fabric layers in there. You can get this foam in iron-on, you can get it in sew-in. So if you get it in sew-in, it's not a bad idea to baste your layers together. I did not, which I should have probably, but I did not. I didn't do the other one and it worked out, so that was just an extra step. I guess if I don't catch a layer, I will go back and rip a little bit and put it back together, but it's going to catch. Have faith. Sometimes some of this foam has a little thread sticking out or something and my foot wants to catch under it, but we're not going to let that happen either. Right here, let's see. Yep, it's going to work. You could actually make this, I guess, and leave out the little handle hole if you don't want a hole in your bucket. Maybe you could line it with a vinyl and actually use it as a trash can if you make the bigger size. Maybe. If you want a pretty little trash bin, then you could make it so it could wipe out if you made it with vinyl. Take a peek. Yep, they're still together. You just got to take it a little slow. You can't be speed racer sewer on this. Getting almost into this side too. And then we just have one more seam and we will be done. And I'll have my mermaid skeleton bag. Okay, that's it. Let's pull this out from under here and let's see if we got it all. So we're going to turn this right side out. Let's see. Da, 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 da. So run your fingers around on the inside and get that bottom crease pushed out. Make sure you caught all the edges. I think I did it. I think I did it. See my mermaids? All right, so then we've got our lining piece, and it's already wrong side. Push it down in here. Get your wrong sides together. And then remember we had turned down that 1/4 inch. That is so you have a finished top seam. So now we're just going to go around and clip this all along the sides, and then we're going to sew that, just top stitch that, and we will be done. I like to reach in here and make sure my lining seam and my bottom seam are even here inside. Lots and lots of clippies. So now I'm just rearranging the clips from my outer piece and my foam to that inner piece, just so it catches on. I probably overdid it on clips now. That foam should have remembered it's supposed to be down instead of up by this. So let's take every other one off so I don't have to do it under the needle. It is a little crowded under there. Extra thread, get out of there. I hear the birds out there singing this morning. That one I folded too far down. Get back up here. I need more hands. Don't try that putting the pins in your mouth at home. I know, I bet you a whole bunch of us do it. Okay. Now, here I'm just taking and shoving the bottom farther into the bag so it all lays nice. Alrighty. Now I have my little arm that comes off my table. I'm just going to take it off, make it a little easier. Get Jack over there. Don't need Jack. Get Jack out of the way today. There we go. Get the clippies out. I'm cleaning as I go. Imagine that. I do have to move things around. Okay, and we're going to top stitch those layers together. And I'm going to lengthen that to about a 3.0 also. Just make sure your edges stay tucked under there. I don't want to lose all these. So what's everybody have planned to do for your Wednesday today? What are you working on? You enjoying the time change? I liked working on Saturday night. That meant I got off an hour earlier on Sunday morning. But then I also had to go back in on Sunday night. One more night to go to work this week. Then I'll be off a few days. 'Cause I somehow talked myself, or got talked into 9 in a row this week. But I didn't really do 9. I got put on call once and had to not even work one of those days. And then I got to go home early a couple of days. Let's see, that one. Yep. Trying to mash that down out of the way so you can kind of see it. I guess you could modify this if you wanted to and make you a handle to make a bucket to carry. Put that top handle on instead. You know, that wouldn't take very much to do that. Just stick it down on either side when you're sewing around. Make it like a purse. Now we're kind of thick right in there. And we're almost done with our little bag here. Okay, mash it back, cut my threads off of that. Got to do a little shaping now. So there we have it. There is a Faithwell storage bin. Sarah Lawson Sews Sweetness. It's time to go to bed, isn't it? But look what I put in. Look what I put in my other one. Headbands that we made from another wacky Wednesday. So we're going to fill those up. So I will see you next Wednesday, maybe before, and I will see you on your channels. I'm liking all your videos, so come back and like and subscribe here. Go to my YouTube channel, The Traveling Quilter. Check that out. Post what you've done. I'm not seeing a lot of postings. Maybe it's my YouTube. But I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.